What's going on, guys? This is the DeFi Crypto Alliance show where we're doing our best to be the bridge between investors, primarily real estate investors, and the cryptocurrency world, which we feel like is the biggest opportunity over the next few years, and it's not even close. So if those are topics that are interesting to you, you're in the right place. We're pumped to have you guys. Corey and I have been out and about and on the move in Puerto Rico, so we haven't been streaming as regularly as we have in the past. We're pumped to do the open mic show today, so we'll post in the comments the link if you guys want to jump in. Love to have you guys on today. Corey, take it away.
Absolutely. Corey Geary here, and I'm just truly honored and blessed to be on this amazing wealth creation journey with you guys, where we're going to use cryptocurrency as a wealth creation tool and real estate as a wealth preservation tool. And it's been quite a fun ride so far. And yeah, we're out here in Puerto Rico exploring around in the island. It's been an absolute blast, although it's been a little hot and it's been humid. But I mean, overall, it's just been a great experience. And yeah, we've kind of had a bit of a small pump this morning. I don't think it's anything significant because we're kind of ranging in a channel, if you will. The support's around 0.408, and I'm talking for Pulse. And resistance is up there about the just a tad above the sacrifice price. And we've been ranging in this channel for the last, I would say, 5 days. And so, like right now, we're back at the top of the channel. We need to break out of that channel to show that this pump is a real pump, or if it's just, just ranging. So we can hit that resistance and we can range back down and hit support. And we could do this literally for months in that channel if like we're kind of like in the capitulation bottom zone. So we'll just have to see how it all plays out. But it's exciting to see, crypto Twitter like not being so hateful this morning when I woke up because of the little tiny pump we had. It's funny how everyone's emotions is so tied to the damn chart. Like, guys, like go live a little life, have some fun, know that we're going to be in this range for a while. We might have another leg down. Like, I think, I felt like decimal 4 zeros and an 8 was the kind of the bottom of the local range or this local time zone we're in. But it doesn't mean we can't go down to 4 zeros and a 4 because, guys, that's the sacrifice price of the largest whales of Pulsechain. So it could go down there.
Absolutely. I think that's a really good point. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see. I've been taking my yield farming. I've been taking my ink and I've just been turning it into stables and waiting patiently to see what would happen with pricing here. And I'm feeling pretty comfy with still doing that. So
yeah,
we'll see. We will see. It'll be interesting. We've got Drew in. What's up, Drew? Glad you jumped in today, man. How you doing?
What's up, brother?
Great.
Man?
How are you guys doing?
Hey, we met down in Miami, man. We talked a little crypto, a little real estate, and so yeah, Drew was at the Hex conference just recently.
Cool.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you guys again. I've been meaning to get in here, but normally I work Friday, so I haven't had the opportunity. So I'm glad I was able to make it and talk crypto with you guys.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's been a blast. And what do you think of the what's going on with the ecosystem right now? What's kind of your 2 cents of everything? Because there's a lot to cover there. But like, what are your thoughts?
So crypto is going to probably go sideways for a while longer. The Fed dropped all kinds of bombshells at the last meeting. So I suspect markets are going to go through a lot more pain. We might get a short pump over summer, but I expect towards the end of the year, we're going to see a lot of downwards pressure.
Yep. I could agree with that. One other thing I want to point out here, and I'm really starting to believe in this this conspiracy theory because BlackRock just filed for the first Bitcoin FT. Well, it's not the first, but they're going to get approved. They're like 99% chance that they're going to get approved for their Bitcoin ETF. And BlackRock, man, they're like the basic third or fourth arm of the government. Like these guys have their tentacles in everything, and they have just a truckload of money and wealth. And it's almost like all this FUD and all this crazy, stupid shit that we're seeing from the SEC, Coinbase, and Binance, and going after all these other, DeFi tokens, and well, if they're exchange, no, actually, it's centralized exchange tokens like Solana, and but it almost feels like it was coordinated, because soon as all this FUD came, we see a huge drop in the market. And then now you got BlackRock saying, hey, we want to do a Bitcoin ETF. What?
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, it feels like behind the scenes, people are trying to do a stakeout in crypto so the institutional investors can buy everything up.
Yes. Yes. Dane, you still there? I think you might have. Dane's Wi-Fi is a little bit rocky today, guys. So he's yep, and he's gone. Can you still hear me, Del Drew?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. I'm sure Dan will be back in a minute or two once Wi-Fi pops back up.
Yeah, we've been hopping from Airbnb to Airbnb, and the Wi-Fi has been just spotty in some and better in others. There he is. He's back.
Can you guys hear me? Is my audio all right?
We are good to go.
Cool. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my camera. Hopefully that helps with my bandwidth a little bit.
Okay.
Cool. But yeah, I like what you guys are saying. I think it makes a lot of sense for price to range over the next few months. There's a lot of big brains that are thinking that we'll see the bottoms, maybe a double bottom or a retest of some of that stuff with Bitcoin and Ethereum near the end of this or beginning of fall, somewhere around September, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw potentially lower lows from here. It's nice to see some life in the ecosystem, but I feel pretty comfy with where my bags are packed and sitting on a little bit of stables right now to wait and see.
Yep. That's what I'm doing too, Dane. I've invested probably the majority of my bag into Pulse. I was able to pick up some here at the decimal 4 zeros and an 8. It was actually 4079 when I executed my buy order. Felt pretty good about that. And then now I have one more bag on the sidelines, and I'm not going to execute that bag unless we go, another 50% down. And that's where I would execute that bag. So somewhere in the 404 and 405, if we get in that range, I'll execute the last of my dry powder bag. But as of right now, I'm holding. I've got a nice bag of all the assets, so I don't need to chase. It feels good to have your bags packed where you don't need to actually try to chase even when price is pumping. You just you wake up in a better spot.
Right.
So.
Right. Agreed. What are your guys' thoughts on? I'd love your guys' insights on the idea. There were tons of people on Twitter that said, "Oh, once Pulse launches, I know all these people with millions and millions of dollars."
Did we lose him again? And his Wi-Fi is
there.
He is.
Am I back?
Yep, you're back. Okay, you're back.
Okay, give me your guys' thoughts on the idea. There were a bunch of people on Twitter that said they had all these contacts waiting on the sidelines for Pulsechain to launch with millions and millions of dollars to pump into the ecosystem, and the price chart has shown anything but that, which is fascinating. What are your guys' thoughts there?
Let's let Norbert take this away. What's going on, Norbert? How you doing this morning?
Hello, guys. Yeah, I'm very well. Thank you. Just finished working, but later I'm gonna come out again. It's perfect timing because yesterday I had a conversation with one of a Hex Dolphin. He's one of a friend of mine, and I would like to know your opinion as well about this. My first question would be, why do you think that if the cryptocurrency is the next best thing since sliced bread, how comes that we still kind of trapped around $1 trillion like this? Do you know the answer for that question?
What is it? You got it?
It's kind of related related to what Dane is making a point. And I've been thinking about this. The problem is with cryptocurrencies that we as individuals, mainly we are in like three groups. Yeah. The first group is the newbies, wearing nappies and don't know what's going on, and like, oh yeah, I heard that crypto is good, I'm gonna make a lot of money. So that's group number one. Another group in crypto is the whales, the people who are manipulating the market, moving things around, making shitload of money, buy and sell, whatever, yeah. And then the remaining category is kind of like the soldiers, yeah. We are there, we DCAing, we are commenting on videos, we do our part, but it's not enough. And then maybe there is one more part besides the whales, who are the people who just like, I put in $1,000, I got $3,000, okay, see you later, I'm out of here. And the problem is like, it's like we are hyenas, like someone drops a piece of meat, everyone goes on it, like, oh, I take a chunk, we run away with it and that's it.
Yeah.
No, it's a long-term thing, man. We have to become a better individuals. We have to learn more. We have to, like get deeper into these things. Like in 2021, I invested in certain cryptos, which was shared by BitBoy and, who was the other guy? Elliot Trades.
Yep.
Oh, this is going to be the next boy. And, they were so convincing. Like one of them is called Freeway, which is similar to these projects like Aave and things like that. I don't know the details exactly, but it was pretty promising, And then even many people on Twitter were like shit talking Richard. You see, Freeway is giving so much better yield. Why we should choose Hex and things like that? What is Freeway now, man? I don't hear anything about Freeway. And when I look at my investment, which I put in, let's say, I don't know, like $1,000 or whatever, is worth like $5.
Yeah.
And then another one was like, shit, I forgot the name of that token. It was like it was a brilliant idea. It was based on crypto when you have a wallet and then you can go and rent a car. You touch your phone to the car, it has a thingy, it takes the crypto itself, off you go, you take the car. The same thing with Airbnb. Touch your phone to the lock, check if you have a balance on your crypto. You have, okay, off you go, door is open, enjoy yourself. We'll find the name of it. So yeah, that's the problem. We are not mature enough, and this 1 trillion is like 1.5 trillion, 900 million. Like we just kind of like doing this. And if the other people who are coming, they obviously more greedy as well. They just like want to take a piece of the pie, and then the rest of the people are gonna be like, man, why should I invest in these things? It's so volatile, and then it's not happening. It's not a long-term thing. It's not stable enough to put my money in. And probably that's why when Dane was asking this question, that those guys they said before that they're gonna chuck in money when things come out. Maybe they realized, do I really want to do that? Because everyone was talking about, at least we're gonna start with 10x. On each, on Pulse and PLSX, and we're not there. Obviously, it's gonna work out. It's fine, but people has expectations, especially who's got money. So they either want stability or they want performance. That's what I learned in business life throughout clients I met, and I know some rich people. So that's the two main drive for them to pull the trigger.
Yeah. And
that's my 2 cents on the.
I also think on Dane's, comment there, now that he's gone, I don't know if he's going to come back in or not, is that, people always come up with narratives to try to like get people to FOMO and to get people like basically, to pump their own bags, right? And so like I remember the old days we would be in the Pulsechain chat room, the Telegram room, and like there was a few of them, and a couple of them were moderators. And they were talking about this narrative, like there's millions of dollars coming into the ecosystem once we launch because they couldn't invest in a sacrifice. And there was even one guy, and I won't mention his name, but a lot of you guys might know who he is. He was talking about Pulsechain will launch at 100x from sacrifice price, and it will never return back from launch price. Like that was the narrative he was preaching in the group, and all the new guys at the time, and this is like during the PulseX sacrifice, so there was a lot of new guys during that time. All the new guys in plebs, and I'm one of them, I was one of them, was like buying into the narrative, completely buying in and going, oh my God, Pulsechain sacrifice. I need to use my PulseX to get Pulsechain. That is also why the PulseX sacrifice was so much more massive, because people were putting in more money because they thought that was their highway to Pulse. And so you just got to be careful on who you listen to, even when they're moderators or YouTube influencers. Be careful and listen to us. We could be saying something completely wrong, even though it's our own opinion, it's not financial advice, but that our opinions could be completely off the mark. So always be careful, question what you hear, because it's just, remember, crypto is PvP. It's person versus person, right? Player versus player, however you want to look at it. But that's what it is, and you got to be careful, man. What you listen to. There's another one I want to tell a story about the PvP. Brings up. I remember being in the Pulsechain Telegram room, and I'll mention who this guy is. And Rack and Rochelle would come into the room and talk about how he's going to start buying market orders of $1 million worth of hex, and I'm talking about U.S., not million hex, U.S. dollars. That he's going to start market buying millions of U.S. dollars worth of hex, and he was going to drive the price up to 70 plus cents. You know what happened after he came into the Telegram room and started talking like that? Hex started dumping. Pleb started buying in to the narrative, and then when he saw that, he started dumping on their heads. So you got to be careful who you listen to. You got to be careful. Even when they might be a respected individual, in the community, you still got to be careful and question. Now, not everyone's going to be like that, right? Not everyone's going to do and always going to be about themselves. You can be about yourself and be about the community at the same time. There's ways of doing that ethically, but there's also ways of doing it unethically. Drew, what's kind of your input on all this?
So my input on it is there was a lot of money that went into the Pulsechain ecosystem. The tokenomics are there. The punkonomics are there. What I think is the big issue here is we went from having one Richard Hart token to having 5. So we now have to invest our money in 5 different assets instead of 1. So because of that, all of the money is diluted. And the Hexicans on our own, we don't have the buying power to pump 5 different assets at once. Like we could do it with Hex when we just have one asset, we could pump it on our own. But with 5 different assets, we don't have the capital behind us to get it to go up on its own. We need new players and new investors to enter the ecosystem. And we need eventually the highest of stakes movie should hopefully come out. Hopefully we can get that on like Netflix or Amazon or Hulu and start getting the Hex name and Pulsechain and everything out in the community outside of crypto. That's the other big issue is everyone in crypto who's been in crypto for a while knows about Hex and Richard Hart and Pulsechain, but all the normies, no one's ever heard of us. And that's something that we need to really work on changing.
Yep. Agreed. What were you going to say, Norbert?
Sorry, I was about to say that both of you making really good points, actually. But coming to you, Corey, that we need more people like you guys, you and Dane, or more like K4K Crypto, or people who are like genuine and honest and, convincing enough for new people to say like, yeah, the guy knows what he's talking about. And it sounds like a really good project. And then he also does what he preaches, not like we discussed certain individuals, they say because they self-interest, so they try to pump their own PLS or PLSX bag, so then they push other things behind, which is, I don't think is fair or ideal. But so we are, as a community, we have to improve as well and represent ourselves as a strong and also thriving and aiming for always becoming better and better. And like when you look at someone and someone talks to you, then I think they say that within 3 to 5 seconds you make a decision when you look at someone and they start talking to you or look at you.
True.
if you like that person or not. So, you know, if I'm a lousy person, or if I'm a self-interest, selfish cunt, you know, then obviously people are not gonna come to me and, okay, fair enough, you found 2,000 followers on Twitter. Congratulations for your 2,000 followers. But as the sorry, what's your name, sir? Drew, yeah. As Drew was saying, you know, like we are like nothing into the ocean. You know, it needs so much more money, and the way we can get that through guys like you who you have your shit together. You know, you wealthy. You know, you're in a good position in life. You're also healthy. You share your positive stories. I really like your stories, Corey, that you started somewhere and you were like making a lot of bad decisions, and then look at you now. You know, like you're a good investor. You know, you got your shit together, nice family. So this is what we need more of. You know, to show as an example that whatever you are in life, if you want to get somewhere else, you need to start making changes, and then, you know, the rest will follow.
Agreed.
Money is out there, Drew. Trust me, there's a lot of money out there.
Oh, there's money everywhere. The world is full of abundance and opportunity.
We just have to be the funnel. We just have to be those. Sorry, my English is right now. I'm a bit tired. You know, we have to be the funnel to lead that money towards the our ecosystem, and show it that is a worthy investment. Is gonna be there. But as long as we have people who are saying like, oh yeah, I'm never gonna sell, and look at it now, after like a 3x sold a huge amount. So if someone is, you know, who's been kind of following from the background and seeing Pulsechain, you know, like, oh yeah, they said at least we're gonna open with 5x. Well, we're down like they're gonna be like, oh, I don't want my money into this thing. That's how I started with Hex. I bought my first stake, and then I think it dropped like 60% within like a month or something.
Yeah.
And I called my friend.
Oh, we lost
It's
him.
so much down, and he was, don't worry, you know, the stake is not up yet. So, and he was right. It worked out well at the end, but I didn't take profit. So there you go. Right now I'm on kind of on balance. Whatever I put into crypto so far, I'm just on that level, you know. And we are in the bear market, so I'm hoping that we're gonna go up soon enough. Otherwise, I keep working for the big man, and you know, I'm not ideal.
I'm honestly of the opposite opinion. I don't want us to pump. The longer we stay down, the longer we can DCA in. So I'm like hoping, honestly, I want to see us do a 90% dip, because I want to get 10 times the amount of Pulse or Pulsex or whatever I'm trying to buy with the same amount of money. So like if it drops 90%, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be like, sweet, now I can unload my dry powder. As opposed to if it pumps like 5-10x, it really limits our ability to buy more.
Correct.
Drew, do you have a wife?
Nope.
Or a girl?
Not yet.
Partner? No? Okay, so let me tell you a story about DCAing and stuff like that. You know, and my wife was like, so how is our crypto doing? We bought for her Hex 11. I was like, yeah, darling, you know, the market is a bit strange, you know, like things gonna go well. And then she was like, no, just be honest with me. Tell me what's going on. I said, you are like kind of 90 something % down. You see, she's Chinese. You see, I told you, you have to stop putting money into this thing. It's not,
your wife's
not good
Chinese?
for you. Yeah.
My wife's Chinese.
Really?
Yeah. My wife's Chinese. And
wow,
it's
bro.
funny. Yeah, man. Because she knows how to look at the charts now. And she'll go and she'll be like, but I've got her trained, or not trained, but I got her mindset where like, babe, if the chart's going down, we buy. We buy. She's like,
yeah, no, but I'm into crypto significantly, you know, and then I even started question myself, you know, because I bought Hedron, I bought Icosa, you know, all the good things in the ecosystem. And now I started feeling like, when it's gonna end, you know, how much more I need to put in, you know, to make it to the level which I really would like to be. And, you know, there are also other expenses, and, you know, you think other ideas as well. So for now, I stopped DCAing. If it's gonna work out, I as you are saying, as I have my back spec, I have a little, how is it called? a waist
a fanny pack.
You know, I only have like a waist bag, you know, it's packed, but yeah, if it's gonna work out, it's fine. If not, then I learned something.
I think that So first, the answer is that crypto is always going well. That's your first mistake. The second is that no, I'm just kidding. But the one thing that, in the end of the day, Corey and I have talked about this a lot, and off our channel, and we say, hey, has your investment thesis changed? Has anything about this changed in how you want to approach it? Do you see a better crypto operator? Crap. Crap. I'm back.
You know what? You're back.
Yeah,
You're back.
Okay. So, and it really comes down to, I mean, for me, and Corey can speak for himself, but man, like, there's just not a better place to place bets. And so the whole adage of like, hey, you don't bet money that you can't afford to lose, all that stuff applies if that's how you're approaching this. And Corey and I have gone really heavy. I mean, the best time to bet is when things are on sale the most. And we've talked to tons of guys that have been on the stream. The stream with Toby one keeps playing out in my head, where he was like, as Hex dipped more and more and more, I thought that it was going to die, and I DCA'd less and less and less. And really, if you believe in something, you should go harder and harder and harder the further that it dips. And so that's how I've been thinking about it. And I've been able to build positions that I thought there's no way that I would get. It's pretty remarkable, and I feel blessed about that. So there's wisdom in figuring out what you need to do for you and your family, and I respect that. And I think it's good to have varying perspectives.
Agreed.
Or something else to even tell us where we're really at is even on Matty Allen's stream the other day. Him and a few of the Hexicans he was talking to are like, I'm thinking about picking up a day job just to get more dry powder. Like, is that a bottom signal or what? Like, when people who have retired off of crypto are like, I want to get a job so I can buy more crypto.
Yeah, I think if we're not at the bottom, we're definitely close to it. I think we could have another 50% drop. I'm not in the camp of you, Drew. I mean, I would love if we got 90% drop. Don't get me wrong. I would load my bags, but I don't think we're going to do a 90% from here. I could be totally wrong, though. I'm just a dude on the internet. But I could see it going down to the sacrifice price for the whales, right? Because that's where most of the economic energy is held in the ecosystem. It's not in all the plebs. It's not in the turtles. It's not in the even in the dolphins, maybe the higher tier dolphins. But the majority of this money in the ecosystem is held by the whales and the sharks. And so they're still in profit. And so they could still take more profits, or maybe they're done and maybe we are at the bottom. It's hard to say. But I mean, either way, make sure, and we talk about this a few times, is that you want to have like what we call a black swan bag, where like if something were to happen and it goes down another 50 or 90%, like you said, Drew, you're able to at least throw a small chunk at it. It don't have to be like, tens of thousands of dollars, but even a small bite of that dip when the pandemic happened on with Ethereum. I remember it did like a crazy 50x, like almost immediately. Even a small little bite out of that would have made you a crap ton of money. And so you just want to make sure you always leave a little bit of gas in the tank. It don't have to be a lot. It does not have to be a lot by any stretch of the measure, but I want to make sure that I'm prepared for anything. And we got all year, guys. I anticipate at least up to September. I do believe in the September kind of like Shemitah ending. That's when Shemitah, I know this is kind of like all conspiracy type stuff with, I like the Randy Hilarski and I like his channel, but I think the Shemitah year ends in September. We're going to get closer to Bitcoin halving. I think we can start to see some pumping happening, real pumping, not like this, like, oh, we're up 7% on the week. No, I'm talking like X's. And that would, in my guess, probably would come sometime in September if I were to make an estimate. I don't have a crystal ball, though. I just, that's how cycles work. And that's all I can go by. Dane, you're muted.
All right, I know I was MIA because of my internet there for a second. Have you guys tackled this comment? I think this is fascinating. Nobody stuck the landing on launch. Not a single person that I'm aware of stuck the landing.
Yeah, that's incorrect. I know who did.
Well, I know I would say a couple of guys, but I don't think they want to.
He was pretty adamant with it, like even on our show. He got one thing wrong. The one thing wrong was the parity narrative. But he said that Pulse and Pulse X will start at 10x under sacrifice price.
Who said that? I don't remember that.
Johnny Chaos.
He said that they would start at a 10x down.
Yes. He said Richard Hart would start it extremely low, so that way he could always point to the price chart showing the multiple X's to the upside. Johnny Chaos was the only one that pointed that out. Even though he was
also
wrong.
And he
rewatch our show.
That's a fair point. Now you couldn't, and I think it was also him that he said that you wouldn't necessarily be able to buy those prices because liquidity would be so thin and whatnot, which was
kind of right.
Yeah, which was accurate. But gosh, like that was the one glimmer of hope. Everything else was wrong.
Oh, there's one other person too. There's one other person, and he called it a year ago or a year and a half ago. And you can go back and watch one of his first videos. It was right after and this is the reason why he got kicked out of the Pulsechain chat room. Way back in the day, I remember. Identity Block called it. Identity Block said a Pulsechain would start at 4 zeros and a 1. Something crazy.
Did he?
This was like a year and a half ago too, or 2 years ago.
Okay. Credit where credit deserved, man. There was almost nobody that called the bulk of what's actually going on.
It was frowned upon. He got kicked out of the Pulsechain chat room for it.
Right. Well, so that's my next question. Would you guys sacrifice for things moving forward? Would you participate in another sacrifice? The only sacrifice so far that's actually launched that I think that people are still up on is the fiat sacrifice, if I'm not mistaken.
That's about accurate. The only way I would, Dane, myself, and then I'll let everyone else answer, is if we are on top of the bull market. If we're on the top of a bull market, I can sacrifice and preserve. It's like basically selling your coins at that point. You're selling, and then you're going to receive something, a year or 2 years later, like how they did with Hex. These guys who received the value of the sacrifice price really are, if they had Hex they were holding in their OG Hexicans, what were they up on their money? How much are they up on Pulse in reality? 100x, 1000x? Where's their I know everyone's number is different. Not everyone's in the same camp. But they are definitely different from like me and you that were sacrificing USDC. And so like if I have a bag of say like Pulse and we are in the top of the bull market and RH comes with a wallet sacrifice, I will sacrifice for that wallet. If it's in the bottom of a bear market or that's when I would think twice about it. That's my opinion. I will never sacrifice for a third-party protocol ever again. Never again will I do that because I've seen how they all play out. Or any ICO, whatever you want to call it. The only way I would do it is like something for like RH wallet, and if it's at the top of the bull market, which there is some speculations from these guys here in Puerto Rico that's how it's going to play out. So he could take supply off of the market. In fact, there's even speculation that the only way you are going to be able to sacrifice for the RH wallet, this is all speculation, is that it's only can be done with Pulse, PulseX, and Hex. So,
but I think that would defeat the purpose. Like the purpose with that idea would be to bring as much economic energy and as many people in it as possible.
I agree.
I think there's so many people that think right now the recency bias says we should be rewarded for being loyal to Richard, for being the sacrificers, and they're still trying to cling to something that they can be specially rewarded because of sacrificing a year and a half ago. I just don't think that's likely.
Richard has been adamant that the people who do the best in crypto are long-term holders. Just hold long-term.
Yes.
It's the people who are in the game the longest and don't get flooded out that do the best. So, okay,
Yes.
we're down right now. Wait another 2 to 3 years. We're at the bottom of the bear market. It is what it is. Just lock everything up in stakes or keep dollar cost averaging in, and we'll see how things play out.
I agree 100%.
No, I could disagree more with that. I think that is the most worst advice that someone
Dollar
ever gave in their life, is to hold long. I think it's so opposite to hold through. And Richard, and I'll go after this one a little bit. Richard has been shown to do a little trading. Like, Richard has shown himself. He
I know you're going with
probably
this.
made the Bitcoin top. And so this whole narrative of like, oh, just keep building out your ladders, just stake for longer. Well, look, most of the people, and I see them all over Twitter, they're like, oh, just created another 5-year stake. Well, guess what, MFer? You're going to be selling the bottom. When that thing comes out, you're going to be at the bottom of the market all over again, because you're not understanding the timing of all this. And I like it. If you screw this up once or twice, like, shame on you. If you screw it up more than that, it's I think it's so important to learn from this. So I agree in general that, yeah, I mean, if you mess up a buy, you've got to wait longer. I think that's great. But I can promise you this, there's not a single token that I will be holding past 2025, 2026 when I feel like the next top is all gone. Every little bit of it.
I definitely agree. You can probably make more money just selling the top on each cycle and then dollar cost back in on the bottom. But the other point of that is, say you have a 10, 15-year stake locked up. If you bought, say, Bitcoin at $30 and it's at 20 grand right now at the bottom of the market 10 years later, does it really matter that it's the bottom of the market? Just from holding from that time period, you got your capital back. So you're definitely
opportunity
more
cost there. The
you're definitely
cost is enormous. Enormous.
Here's the thing with the 15-year stakes with me, is that most companies don't even survive 15 years, most businesses. And for us to think that crypto is not going to evolve past where we're at in this state right now, 15 years from now, is a little bit naive. And so, like, really the 15-year stake for me it's a gamble. You're purely gambling at that point. It's not a very strategic investment, in my opinion. This is my opinion now. Now, I could be totally wrong, but it's not a strategic investment. It's just a gamble, because I don't feel like even Ethereum or Bitcoin will even be here in 15 years. I feel like we're going to see something completely different in crypto altogether. And this is the bet that I'm making versus what other people are making with 15 years, saying that Hex is going to be one of the dominant cryptos 15 years from now, is a very highly speculative bet. Very high speculative. Now, it could be, yes, but you want to weight your averages with risk versus reward. And so for me, all my stakes have been done, besides my HSIs. I have HSIs that I've been winning in auctions, but even those, everything is staked out to the end of 2025 and back. And so I made a staking ladder back from 25 all the way till 6 months from now. And then I have a shit ton of HSIs. And those HSIs will be exited at the top of the bull market via the ICOSA contract and selling on OpenSea. And so I'm with Dane. I will be exiting my entire portfolio. Like, Drew, I might leave a couple my small HSIs. I have a couple of them. Like, I might transfer those to my daughter's, which I already have. I transfer those to my daughter's wallet. And like, my daughter, if Hex is here and it's a premier store value in 15 years from now, my daughter's never gonna have to work a day in her freaking life. Like, that's gonna be like, so I'll make that a small little gamble for her. But for me, in my short term and my investment thesis for using cryptocurrency as a wealth creation tool during this market cycle, and then using real estate as a wealth preservation tool, that is the play for me. So yeah, I mean, take it as you will. I believe the 5555 is just a narrative. for Hexicans to preach, so people don't end up dumping and they lock your coins up and then they end up dumping on your head. A lot of them. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. Or it's the opposite. You can see how many Hexicans have you heard screaming on Twitter like Silvertooth? Silvertooth was a multi-millionaire at the top of the bull market, and now he wants to kill himself, and he lives in a trailer with holes that has holes in the roof. He can't afford to eat, but he was a multi-millionaire in the bull market because he had all his stakes locked up for 15 years. It's the wrong way to play the game, in my honest opinion. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with taking some of your bag and speculating out that long. That's fine. I can't say that Hex won't be a store of value in 15 years from now. But you got to weigh everything out, man, and make sure that the things you listen to are like, hey, is that a narrative? Is that part of the PvP that we always hear about? Is that just people playing against, other people trying to convince us to lock our money up for 15 years so they could dump on our heads? I guarantee you a lot of that's happening. I'm not saying it's not the right move, not the wrong move, but you got to sit down and question all these things. Just question them. And I've made my decision, and I will have a couple 15-year stakes, Drew, that I will keep, like I said, for my daughter. But that's about it.
And the beauty of all this is that we can each choose how to build our own bags, right? Like, I'm very adamantly against staking that long. I think that it's unwise for, like Corey and I have been professional investors for 8 years, and we've made a ton of mistakes and lost small fortunes, but also been fortunate to figure some things out. And time again, it usually goes to show that what's the saying? It's like two birds or a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush.
Randy says it all the time. Randy Hilarski, a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush.
And I think that, frankly, with market cycles, until that cycle theory is disproven and shown that it's not on track, there's just like there's nothing certain. There's nothing for sure. There is almost no technology that anybody uses in their life that's 15 years old at this point. Like, you go and you move on. Technology and blockchain is moving so rapidly that that's my feelings on it.
Bitcoin's not even 15 years old yet.
Right.
Bitcoin's not even 15 years old. And so, like, you're making a bet for longer than the length of Bitcoin's been around. So remember that too. So, I mean, and Drew, this is my opinion and Dane's opinion. We could be completely wrong about all this. So build your bags how you want to build your bags, and it could work out definitely in your favor. But I definitely know how I'm playing the game, and I've packed my bags and my stakes for what I call market cycle stakes. And when those come out, then I'll sell, and then I'll keep some dry powder for buying back in the bear.
There's no scenario where I'm going to be holding anything and sitting through a 90% dip on my stuff when I feel that it's highly likely that I could get out of those positions in very significant profit. The emotional weight of this bear cycle has absolutely sucked. It has sucked so bad. The amount that I'm down on some of my positions I bought near the top of the cycle is just absolutely breathtaking and an incredible learning experience. I'm blessed that I make enough money that I could be buying these levels now.
Yes.
But I can't imagine, like, if I had $2,000 in savings or $5,000 and I bet it at the top of the last cycle, you're fucked. What are you going to do? I mean, seriously, it's brutal. What are you going to do? And I just think that it's unfortunate. We felt the pain. I've seen what that's like. And we're hopeful with our show. We try to share the information to be able to make it so that people don't repeat that, because we know how it feels. So, yeah, build your bags however you see. I think this is a really good question. Where'd it go? What do you guys think about this? Do you think we'll see farms in V2 anytime soon, or do you think this could potentially have been on purpose as a way for Richard to burn a lot more, and he's going to leave both sides on the platform? Yeah, what do you guys think?
I'll let you guys go first. Drew.
I really wanted to say something to the previous thought of
Go
yours.
for it, Norbert.
Go for it.
So two things to start with. Number one is, as you are good investors and you made a decent wealth, you know what you're doing, and your plan is a very good plan.
Norbert, we can barely hear you. Can you? Are you able to turn it up or adjust? Yeah.
Yeah. Is it better now?
Yes, it's a little better now.
Okay, a little better. Okay, so what I was saying is that your ideas are really good. Your approach is really good. You made many good decisions. You build your wealth, and then you have a plan. You're gonna sell. But then it brings me to the next point. We still so immature as a investment sector or like industry, because if people who are watching these videos and they see that, oh, okay, so these guys, they're doing that, so why should I, or how I'm gonna invest, or am I gonna do the same thing as they do? What if we are wrong and the cycle goes a little bit further? It's just
even if it goes a little bit further, if you sold the top a little early or even a little late, you're still, you could go in 5 extra bags.
I know,
even if you were off.
But look at it, the bigger picture. Then we're gonna start again from what, $800 billion. This 1 trillion is not gonna be passed, because we're packing. In 2 years time we're selling, then we're gonna go down again at 90%, and then we're gonna stay again on 800 billion and 1 trillion and whatever. So how are we gonna attract that new money in? I strongly believe that more and more projects we need, like Hex, Famous, Fiat, Icosa, Hedron, which providing that trustless yield, a decentralized finance, when you can safely say, yes, I work my ass off, because trust me, I spoke to my accountant, I paid my tax for last year. I worked about 350 days last year. So, and I put enough money into crypto as well, but hey, it's not enough, because, I still have to work another 2 years at least. And if I could do, or any other people who comes into the crypto market, say, okay, I make, let's say, $3 grand a month or $5 grand a month, and I can safely say I would be comfortable putting $500 to $1,000 each month towards these projects, what we are invested in, and then I would see that the money is coming in and it does what it's meant to do, then we could grow further. But until that happens, it's just gonna be like this pump and dump. Everyone is assuming.
This is not how markets work, though. Markets don't work like that. They don't only go up as you get more adoption. Like,
no, don't take me wrong. No, it's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying that it's only go up. But because it's so volatile, the people are not willing to put more money into it. So we're not gonna grow, because it's gonna be not a attractive sort of investments for the people.
Are you saying that you think the volatility will die down over time?
Last time, 2.5 trillion, maybe.
Yeah. Are you saying you think the volatility will die down over time?
That's what we should aim for, to grow and then pass that 3 trillion, 5 trillion.
I think that's likely.
Trillion,
Yeah, I think that's likely.
And then
I think that's likely, but you're still going to have cycles.
Stable, and then we don't need to sell these things. Just take enough, like as much as we need. We don't have to cut the tree down completely, and then pick up all the apples and run away, and then put another seed later on in 2 years' time. It's not how it should be. It should be like, okay, I have one apple tree. I put a pear tree next to it. I harvest when I can. I keep looking after everything in the meantime, and then next season comes and I harvest again. It wouldn't need to be this, because then all we're gonna do is just dumping on each other's head, and then like I said, it's not gonna be interesting for the new money to coming in. One good point.
But that's just how financial games are played, though. The earlier you are and the bigger you bet, the larger, the more you benefit. Like, that's just how these games are played. They're.
We see it in stocks.
It doesn't stocks. It doesn't real estate too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We see it in all asset classes.
So we could hope for things to be different, but I just don't think there's a reality where that is.
You have to swim with the whales. You have to swim with the institutional money. You have to swim with, hedge funds.
That's the key word. That's the key word you just said, that the whales, like my friend who does, he put quite a decent amount of money into crypto, and he put a lot of money into ICOs. He lost a lot of money on that time, yeah. And then he was like, okay, let's slow down, let's do more research, let's put safer investments. I think he put in like Gala and like other blue chip kind of projects money in, but then he's still down. He still has to work. He's still, not being able to provide to his missus as much as he wants.
I mean, whales like BlackRock. You're going to see these guys come in. They're going to buy the bottom, which is now, and they're going to sell it. They're going to sell the top. There's no two doubts in my mind. They will make and sell the top. It's just going to happen. And that's just how, when Dane was saying is how markets work, it is how they work. And you have to be able to go like play the game with them if you don't want to get crushed. Or at least play the game to an extent. You don't have to do it with your whole portfolio. Yes, I agree with that. But you need to understand it and play the game. In my opinion, market cycles in crypto are the only things that matter, period. That's in the discussion. Like narratives are everything else. You got market cycles, and then you got narratives that try to drive people away from the actual truth, which is market cycles. And that's why people all the time, I hear them like, oh man, I can't believe I didn't do a staking ladder based off market cycles. Well, you could do that. You could do a staking ladder every 4 years. And it's like people have been in crypto since 2012 didn't take this in consideration. Like, how do you not know about market cycles? Because all the other narratives teach people against market cycles. It's funny how it works because it's retail against big money. The whales, institutions, people like BlackRock, these guys move markets, understand markets, and they like Dana said, they will probably make the next market top. Who do you think made the last Bitcoin top? Maybe Richard Hart. Like literally calling the top on the day. Now, is that because you dumped like 100,000 Bitcoin that day? You probably did. Like, right? I mean, he plays the game too. Dane had said earlier, people were saying like he's not a trader. He trades the market cycles. He definitely trades the market cycles. We see Vitalik do it. Vitalik, the Ethereum Foundation, dumps on everybody at the market top every single time because they know, hey, this is the top. Guys, sell or out. We'll come back in during the bear. And it's just,
I agree with you. This is the current situation, but we should be able to pass this kind of system or like the system what we are in right now, because it's not a long-term, it's not a feasible.
I think the volatility will pass through. Like I think that will die down, but it will never be gone. It will always be because you still see it in stocks. Stocks work on 8-year cycles, about 8 to 9 year cycles. Real estate works on between 12 to 16 year. Usually it's 12-year cycles. But this time around, we had 16 because the money printer went burr for so long because of the pandemic. So, like, you even see it in real estate, man. I mean, we saw everyone dumping on everyone's head in real estate in 2011, 2009 and 2011. The big money was dumping the properties, basically dumping on everyone's head. People were upside down, underwater in all their properties. It was a bloodbath. It was completely red on the chart if you were to put that on the chart. And you see it in stocks every 8 years. And you'll see it in crypto every 4 years. But to your point, Norbert, I think you're right. I think a lot of the volatility will die down where you don't have this like 98% correction. And then but then you also not going to have your 1000x gains either. If you get rid of the 99%, the 80 to 90% drop, you're going to lose the upside of the 100 to a 10,000x gains on new projects too. So you get the good with the bad. And so I think you're right, but it's going to come with a cost.
So going back to your guys' point on the psych wars, that you need to play psych wars, I agree with that. I'm just leaning more towards the long term. So I have 60, 70, 80% staked out longer and 20, 30, 40% to sell off the top in 2025 towards the market cycle top. Which leads me into my question for you guys. selling out of crypto into real estate. I don't understand the real estate markets. What real estate should we be moving into when we sell our crypto profits? What are the real estate investments that work well?
Yeah,
because that's like, I understand crypto, but real estate is something that most people in crypto don't understand, and you guys have experience in the real estate markets.
For me, I'm looking for syndications on apartments in multifamily builds or sell to rent that pay me a 20% IRR, which means in the crypto world, APY. We call it APY in crypto. We call it IRR in real estate. And so, like, I've been looking for those type of projects with high-level operators I can put my money with, so I don't have to be the operator. I don't want to be the operator. I've done it. It's a pain in the ass, and it sucks. It sucks my ass, man. I don't ever want to be an operator ever again. Not that I'm saying I wouldn't ever buy houses again, or like that's not the same. But when I'm placing like millions of dollars into projects, I don't want to be the ones finding those deals. I don't want to be the ones running those deals. I don't want to be the ones making sure those deals keep afloat. I want to invest in somebody who's a high level operator, the same way we invest with Richard Hart in crypto. Richard Hart he check marks all the boxes that me and Dane love in high level operators who we know and feel confident that are entrepreneurs who could run a good investment protocol. And we look for the same traits in these high level operators in real estate. In our group, we have a lot of them in there already. We're nurturing a group where it's 97 members now. Everyone in that group is a real estate entrepreneur, and we're teaching them crypto, obviously, and how to do crypto the right way, safe way, how to have self-sovereignty via the RH ecosystem. But all of them are at least flipping houses, wholesaling houses, doing apartments, mobile home parks, self-storage. And so, like, we'll have the network that we as crypto guys can tap into very easily to place our money when the timing is right. Coming this next bull market, when we're taking profits off the table, we'll have that network kind of already fostered, right? It's already there. We're gonna have him on our show soon. We've had one of the most. This is a blessing to have him in our group. Is that we have Robert Allen, the no money down guy from the 1980s, who's made. Listen to this. He's made from He's 74 now. He's old. He's an older gentleman. He's be the infomercial guy right after Carlton Sheets. But Robert Allen has made $1.3 billion with a B in his real estate and real estate teaching career. And we have we could truly call it a blessing and honor. He's in our group now, and we're teaching him crypto. We have a meeting with him today. We have a meeting with him in an hour or two. We're onboarding him into the Richard Hart ecosystem. And so it's really cool. And these guys, they know how to park money in the real estate space where we don't have to be the operator. And so that's key. That's really key right there, Drew. And so, just stay in touch with us. We'll be, fostering this group and growing it. And if you really want to know more on how to get into the group, we have obviously it's a paid group. The real estate guys pay, this is a mastermind, a real estate mastermind that we teach crypto to. And so most real estate masterminds that I've joined, and Dana's joined them too, run anywhere from $30,000 to $100,000 to get into. And we've been involved in all. That's how I met Dane. That's how I met Dane. Was it a paid real estate mastermind? And it's those paid real estate mastermind I was able to make so much wealth in the real estate game. And so this is a real estate mastermind right now. And we'll be discussing and figuring out how we're going to open it up to all the crypto guys can come in when the time is right. Because we don't got to teach you crypto, right? Like I don't got to teach you how to fire a Trezor up, or I don't got to teach Norbert how to use Pulsechain. At least I hope not. Drew, just stay in touch with us, and we can discuss it more. If you're really interested in getting our group, we can take it offline and have a conversation about it. So we got a lot of high level network, and the guys who are worth more me and Dane, and I love that. I want to be the dumbest guy or brokest guy in the room. Always want to be like the dumbest and brokest. But like, hey, how do you guys do this? Like, teach me. I need to know. And it's been fun, man.
It's interesting. It's same for these guys. Like they don't want to go and bet heavy until they can kind of like see some of the fruits of their labor. So a lot of the guys in our group, they've bet, relatively small compared to their net worth because they want to wait and see. And so it's fun to see. It's interesting.
But then when they get confident, we had a guy in our group the other day. He was like, "Hey, can I do $1 million with trust token?" I'm like, whoa. I'm like, yes, but let's break it up. Like maybe 250,000, maybe 200,000. Let's break it up. Like it's that's the cool part about working with entrepreneurs and real estate guys is they're not working with like $1,000, $5,000. These guys, they're high net worth individuals, which is fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I do the same thing with crypto guys. Like that's one reason why I'm moving to Puerto Rico. Is like I get to hang around with all these high level net worth crypto guys out here, like Motley and Wendy's and Dixon Piper. These guys are like they've made it. Like they have extremely made it, and they're out here in Puerto Rico. And I love networking with these guys and hanging out with them and seeing how their mind ticks. Guys, if you want to know like about what Trevor was on our show the other day. Trevor lives out here in Puerto Rico. He's an entrepreneur, has made it in the entrepreneur world, and now he's really made it in the crypto space too. And I love hanging out with these guys to hear how they think and what makes them tick because I'm growing still in this industry. I'm not like I feel like I'm in kindergarten still, and I'm learning how these guys move and operate. And that's how I know like some of the stuff we talk about on the show, like the narratives of 5555 and the narratives of parity and all these other narratives that you're going to hear about. The whales and sharks are not swimming in that direction of the narrative. They swim in market cycles. So
if you don't take profits near the next market top, you're not going to only be working these next 2 years, you'll be working the next 6. So I would heavily recommend that you figure out some form of profit taking, whatever that may be. I saw a Twitter thread, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, and that's fine. Everyone can manage their own bags however they see fit.
I met you 2 years ago.
But like Westcott had a thread going on Twitter, and it's fascinating to read through the comments. And he said if you were sitting on 10 million, you had a hex stake come out near the top of 2025, and you knew that it was the top. What would you do with the hex? Would you sell it? Would you restake some? Would you? What would you do? And I see some of the people in the comments, they're like, even with price down, I'm still up. I think that's cool. You'd be up 10x more if you would have sold the top and would have been buying these levels. And so I just like, I would sell every single one of those hex. I don't care what it is. And I'll be very transparent with what I'm doing with my bags. Expect a lot of selling in 2025. Period. End of the story.
We'll let you know though too. It's like we're not afraid to like my bags, my opinion. It's not financial advice. It's what I do with my money, and I can say what I do with my money. I would sell every single one of them at the top of the market cycle. Everything I can possibly sell, I am selling. I did the same, guys, with real estate. We're going through a market top right now. I exited a lot of all my portfolio. I got one house left that I'm still trying to do something with. But like I exited the market, guys. I saw the top. I knew we were in the top, and I was like, "Oh, real estate's at the top, crypto's at the bottom. What do? Transfer of wealth. Boom." And I'll do it again in 25 because I'm anticipating a market low on real estate and a crypto top in 25. Once again, boom, transfer of wealth.
And even then, it doesn't have to be a real estate bottoming. Real estate is not going to grow at the pace of crypto, and so it's a trade of a lifetime if you like doing real estate. And
even
I'd
if I get 30%.
recommend if you like what we're talking about and you think that real estate would be a good asset class to go into, like start doing your research now. Start wrapping your head around it. Real estate is not all rainbows and roses, and it's this great way to just turn out like 10 to 20% a month. Corey and I have had months where we freaking did like crypto gains, like 3, 4, 5x's in a month.
My biggest month was over $400,000 in real estate, guys.
It was, it's stupid. Some of the months
consistently was like 100,000. I mean, you can make good money in real estate. It's a pain in the ass. I was always constantly between 5 and 10 lawsuits. at any given time, always fighting with buyers and sellers, fighting with this. I mean, it's a pain in the ass. You're going to lose a lot of sleep at night building that kind of business. You got to run employees. Employees are trying to sue you. Employees are trying to get one up on you. So it's always a madhouse, but you can make crazy money doing it.
What tools or resources would you guys recommend to learn more about real estate to prepare for the 2025 crypto top?
If you're looking for like investing, as far as long-term, store of value wealth, you want to look into like getting into syndications, getting into, funds and syndications will be your two methods of investing with high-level operators who are going to run those projects for you. Now, you do have to find those high-level operators. Now, me and Dane, we've gotten really good at sourcing these guys, like Cuthberto. He's one off the top of my head. Cuthberto is freaking amazing. You can watch our show from like a few months back, Drew. We had Cuthberto on the show, and he's a high-level operator that is coming into our group. And, man, he kills the game. You get 20% IRR with him. I have a group out in Atlanta, Georgia that I'm doing developments for. They do developments for hedge funds to buy to rent. So like the houses are pre-sold before they build, so they know they won't get screwed on their money. And then they raise the money, build. They get the down payment from the institution, the hedge fund. They build, and then they sell them off to the hedge fund. And I'm making 20% IRR on that. And I have money locked up with them. But although if this money comes out, I wish I wouldn't have locked up my money the last time around. But it's about to come out here in the next 2 months. I'll probably roll that money into crypto, but then I'll put my money back with these guys when the timing is right, because these guys do good work and they make good money for their investors. So it's make sure you source your operators, making sure that, you can source them by word of mouth at first, but then you want to look at their track record. You got to be you got to dig deep on the track record, making sure they do good by their clients. And you don't want to be the guinea pig. You don't want to be the guinea pig of any new real estate operator going into a new syndication or a new fund that they might be raising money for. But at first you want to source them, obviously, through word of mouth. Don't go to like research on Google who's raising money for a real estate venture. You're going to find like these stupid furus like Grant Cardone.
The same as crypto. A bunch of
it's the same as crypto. So the guys who are kind of like making moves and doing good work, you're not gonna see them on the top of a Google search.
No.
It's not gonna happen.
You can go and research. There's a website called Bigger Pockets that gives
that's a good one.
generally good information. It's far from perfect, and there's some big gaping holes in some of the things that people think and believe there, but that's a good place to get general information. You could read just about any of Robert Kiyosaki's books. Really love the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I think that's a great one. There's another book called The Millionaire Real Estate Investor. That's another really good one to read to give you more nuts and bolts information. And then by all means, I would go and poke around at like Grant Cardone's syndication stuff and some of these other guys that
just
have a lot of
it.
money to push that, just to see some of the nuts and bolts, to see what it's like. They're really good salesmen, so you have to be aware of that going in, so you don't get sold on a bag of crap. And so you're just going to look around, and then you can do research from there on who you want to place bets with. So if you need help finding those people, you can reach out to us, and we do the same with that as we do with crypto. You have to understand we're far from perfect. We certainly don't know everything. But we try to give the best information and be honest about what we're doing and how we're doing it.
Yeah, and we make mistakes even in the real estate sector like we do in the crypto sector. I mean, it's like we're all growing and learning. There was one protocol.
Yeah,
there was one investment that me and Dane got into, and it's a oil and gas drilling type investment that promised us the moon and didn't turn out that way. Still trying to. I'm like, man, if I can get my money back out of this one, it's all going to crypto.
Sure. Live and you learn. That's all.
Yep. It is. It's fun.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, this is probably a good place to wrap up. We've been going after it for a little bit here. Appreciate you guys jumping on today. We appreciate the people in the comments. Really appreciate the comments that disagree with us. There's no way for us to like broaden our understanding when, you know, when everybody has all the group think. So seriously, like Drew and Norbert and the people in the comments, appreciate you like pushing against what we think and believe. We really,
this
we really
has been one of the funnest shows. Like seriously, this has been one of the funnest shows with the topics between, you know, the narratives and the market cycles and 5555 and parity and all the way down to real estate. This has been an awesome show, guys. Thank you so much for the commentary. We appreciate this, as that we were able to provide the value to also the audience, you know, and everyone needs to make up their own mind and come to their own conclusion, because it is your money you're investing. You need to do your research when you're investing. You need to come up to your own conclusion every single time before you push the buy and sell button. And it's not only in crypto, but also in real estate and also in stocks. I don't care. It's your money. You need to learn how to invest it. You need to come up with your own conclusion and do your own research and learn what exactly you're getting yourself into. And so on that note, we appreciate all you guys. This has been an awesome show. This has been a blast. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us on, guys. It was awesome talking to you and having a great dialogue.
Appreciate you and appreciate you, Norbert.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Let's continue again. It was an interesting discussion for sure.
This was fun. This was, I gotta say, one of my favorites.
Yep. See ya.
Nice one.